Okay, so hi everyone. يعطيكم العافية. We know it's a Friday, but we thought it's very important إنه نستضيف معنا اليوم one of the most famous executive coaches or leadership coaches بالمنطقة. Lara Atallah is an executive and leadership coach. She is a certified professional coach by the International Coach Academy in Australia, a professional certified coach, and a group certified coach accredited by the International Coach Federation. She's an action-oriented coach, facilitator, and trainer, specialized in a diverse range of topics related to leadership development. A sought-after speaker on topics related to leadership, self-trust, resilience, self-awareness, life balance, women development, and empowerment. مرحبا لارا، كيفك؟
Hi, Mirna. Thank you for this introduction and thank you for this invitation.
هلا يعطيك العافية. Thanks a lot for accepting our invitation, and you will be basically talking about a subject that is very, very important and dear to the hearts of almost everyone, entrepreneurs, investors, startups. It's all about managing our energy and managing our personality and psychology during these tough times. I'm gonna give you the floor. معنا we're going live on Facebook. أهلا وسهلا فيك.
أهلا. Hi everyone. I'm looking forward to spending these coming 30 or 45 minutes together talking about the 4 dimensions of energy. And I invite you to be interacting with me through some question that I will ask. Maybe you can answer on the chat box, or if you're watching live on Facebook, you can add any comment. And now let me share my screen with you. Okay. So first I want to let you know that we're all in this together. So you're not alone. Okay. So it's time of uncertainty, time of unknown, and definitely we all feel stressed and there's a build-up of anxiety. I'm not here today to talk about technical stuff related to fintech, or I'm not here to talk about analyze the economy or analyze what's going on. No, but I'm here mainly to talk about you as a human being, you as a leader of your team. Because you are in the driving seat. You're driving yourself and you're driving your team through this. So you need to be in a required state, in a certain state, to be able to move forward, to take the right action, to make the right decision, and to be resilient, which is to bounce back if you feel that you fall, and to withstand the pressures that you face. Be proactive, and also to find new opportunities in the challenges that we're going through. So this is mainly what I will spend more time on. It's about you and who you need to become to be able to face this storm. And this takes me to one of my favorite quotes, which is Gandhi's quote. It's be the change you want to see in the world. So whatever you want to see in the world, let's say if you want to see more positivity, more motivation, more engagement, it goes back to you. You need to cultivate this inside of you so you can see it in the world. It always starts with who we are. And today we're facing a new challenge. Usually we're faced with technical challenges, but today it's more of an adaptive challenge. And let's see the nature of this challenge that we're facing today. It's not like all the challenges that we used to face. It's a bit different because a technical challenge, the problem is clear, but here it requires learning. A technical challenge, the solution is clear, but here the solution needs more learning. The solutions are often implemented quickly in a technical challenge, but in an adaptive challenge, it requires experiments and discoveries. Knowledge or skills resides in the organization in a technical challenge, but now you need to learn new skills and approaches. In a technical challenge, it's solved by authority or expert, but in an adaptive challenge, it's solved by people involved and all the stakeholders involved. A technical challenge looks more like a linear, a cause and effect challenge, but here it's non-linear and it can be unpredictable. A technical challenge requires no change in beliefs, values, or priorities, but an adaptive challenge may require a shift in certain beliefs, values, and priority. And this is what we're facing today. We're facing an adaptive challenge, something new, something that requires new actions, and any new actions require new ideas. And new ideas, they birth from new questions. So you cannot keep on asking new questions and you're still in your comfort zone. You need to be another person to be able to face this adaptive challenge. So let's think together, and you can open your chat box or you can write on Facebook. What do you think are the most required skills right now that you need to adopt to face this adaptive challenge with this nature? So I'll stop the sharing and let's go to the chat box and see what are the required skills that are needed right now. I see flexibility, excellent. Open-mindedness, patience, exactly. Focus, time management, positivity. Yes, optimism. Of course, so we have flexibility, open-mindedness, patience, focus, time management, positivity, creativity, faith. Okay, exactly. And all these skills are very much required right now, okay? But the point is that to be able to show positivity, to show optimism, to be flexible, to be agile, to adapt to the situation, you need to be in a certain state. You cannot be flexible, you cannot be optimistic, positive, and you are facing stress, you're facing anxiety. So that's why we need to focus some time here on the stress, because stress is one of the major things that can come between us and implementing these skills, because I believe that all of us have the knowledge, the skills, the competencies required, but you need to be in a certain state so you can ignite these qualities that are inside of you already, to be more flexible, to be more agile, to be more patient. So let's see the result. What is stress? We need to understand first what is stress. And we all are facing stress right now due to this pandemic, the worldwide pandemic. And to overcome stress, we need to understand what is stress and how to overcome it. So there's a very simple formula that I always use, is that stress occurs when pressures are greater than the resources. So stress is the reaction that people have to the excessive pressure or demands that are placed upon them. It arises when they worry that they cannot cope with them. And this is what we're going through right now. We have pressures that are pressuring us. We're pressured by new way of thinking. We're pressured to be more creative. We're pressured to take action. We're pressured to be patient. So we have pressures. And we have also a resource. So we have two elements in this equation that we can capitalize on. So if we change the way we deal with pressure or the way we look at pressures and reduce them, then the stress will go down. And if we know how to increase our resource and capitalize on our resources, then the stress will go down. So let's focus first on the part of the pressure. So how do we deal with pressures? Usually our pressure falls into two categories. We live in two circles. We have a circle of control and we have a circle of concern. The circle of control are all the things, the people, the events, the situation that I can control. And the circle of concern are all the situations, the events, people, and things that I cannot really control, but they're taking from my time, they're taking from my thinking, and they're taking from my energy and my concern. So what is in the circle of control? Actually, the only thing that is in the circle of control is me. And when I say me, it's not me, it's me with everything that is related to me, like my actions, my reactions, my behavior, my perception, my attitude, my decisions, so my thoughts, my emotions. So this is what I can really control, and I can really make a change through these things. But what falls in the circle of concerns are maybe everything that I cannot control, like the pandemic we're going through, the future, what will happen, the past, what happened in the past, the current situation. There are things that we really cannot control. So always when you're dealing with pressures or demand, think, where are they falling? Are they in the circle of control or they are in the circle of concern? And how I can take things back from the circle of concern, which something is concerning me and taking so much of my energy, and check what is in my circle of control that I can do right now to change this situation. So always stand in the circle of control and ask the question of what is in my hand right now to do? What is in my power to do right now regarding this? If you have something to do it, then focus on it and do it. And if you don't have, just let go and put your focus in how to change your emotions, how to change your thoughts, how to change your perception about seeing what's going on in a certain negative way. Maybe you see it in a positive way, because the more you focus on the circle of control, the more you feel empowered, the more you feel there is room for opportunities, there is room for growth, there is, you feel that you can do something, okay? There is always progress in the circle of control. But if you're stuck in the circle of concern, you will feel weak, you'll feel that you're a victim to circumstances, and this will add to your stress because you feel you're helpless, you're hopeless, and you cannot do anything. So whenever you are faced with pressures and demands, be very clear about where they stand. Are they in the circle of control or concern? And there's this famous photo that has gone viral on social media about the coronavirus, is what I cannot control and what I can control. So you can control your positive attitude, turning off the news, limiting social media, your kindness and grace, and so on. And these are the things that you need to focus on because you can control them. And what you cannot control is the action of other people, people's motive, if they respect the social distancing or not, okay, how long this will last, and maybe the amount of toilet paper at the store. So these are the things that you cannot control. So when you find yourself in that circle of concern, just let go of these things and put your energy back in the circle of control and ask yourself, what can I do right now? What can I do right now regarding this situation? So let's go back to our stress formula. And we said that the stress occurs when the pressure are greater than the resource. So now let's move to the other part of the other element of the equation, which is our resource. And our resource that we're blessed to have is our energy. And what is energy? Energy, according to physics, is the capacity to do work. So this means if you have more energy, you have more capacity to do more things, to perform better, to be more productive, to be more creative, to take more action. So if you find ways to increase your reservoir with energy, then you can have more capacity to do more things. You can have capacity to ignite the skills that you really need, as you mentioned, flexibility, adaptability, positivity, optimism. You need to put your competencies into light. So we need energy so much. And why energy is important, or why we're using energy? Because energy is unlimited, okay? It doesn't finish. It is an internal resource, so it's inside of you. So you can expand it and renew it, and you can find always ways to get this energy back. But I want to tell you something, that if we look at a car right now, okay, the car needs one source of energy. Maybe it is gas or it is electricity, but it's still one source. Human beings are more complex. They are multidimensional. We need 4 sources of energy to operate at our best. And these 4 sources are the physical energy, emotional energy, mental energy, and spiritual energy. So if you imagine a battery, and this battery is divided into 4 compartments, okay? If you're focusing on your physical energy only, you're exercising, you're fit, and so on, then you're focusing only on 25% of your energy. And this is good news, because this means that you have a hidden potential of 75%, that if you use it in the proper way, you will be energized to fill your battery up to 100%. And then this, of course, will give you a result that is completely different if you're operating at a 25% of your battery or a 50% of your battery. So let's start with the physical energy first. And let's explore what can we do differently in this energy, and what are the components of the physical energy. The physical energy is the quantity of the energy that we have in our body, the quantity. And it's the foundation of all other energies. Because if you feel physically tired, you cannot think properly, you will get triggered easily, you cannot manage your emotions, and you don't feel motivated or aligned with your higher purpose. So it's the base of all other energies. And it is affected by 4 components. First, it's nutrition. And nutrition is the ability to sustain and maintain level of glucose in your body at certain levels. So I don't want to spend much time here, but you need to have a nutritional breakfast in the morning. You need always to drink water, 2 or 3 liters of water per day. You need to avoid foods that are high with salt or with sugar. You need to have balanced meal, lots of vegetable, lots of fruits. And you need to know that you are what you eat. So just be conscious about what you're eating, because it affects not only your physical energy, but also your emotional energy. And let me stop here right now, and we'll release a small poll. We need to release the poll, please. Okay, so how many times do you exercise per day? Like, take like 10 seconds and please check on the poll. Is it daily, 3 times per week, 5 times per week, or none? Okay, let's see the result.
Lara,
Yes.
Guys, those who are with us on Zoom, can you see the poll?
No.
No, we can't.
Okay, let me end it and launch it again. No, I didn't see any responses. I'm going to launch it again. Hold on.
So now you can see it.
It doesn't look like they are. مع إنه it's launching عندي.
Yes, we can see it.
Yes, they can see it. Okay, so please put your votes. So can we see the results, Myrna?
I can't see any results. I mean, okay, end poll. Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
Did you vote? I don't know why it's no. Okay, submitted.
Okay, so we have 50% are exercising 3 times per week, 17% are exercising 5 times per week, and 33% are not exercising at all. Okay, so that's a group of fit people here. So let me go back to this. Okay, exercising is very important, and the minimum that we need to do to maintain our physical energy, because this is the second component of our physical energy, exercising and fitness, is the minimum is 3 times per week. Because there's a study that has proven that the concentration increased by 21% when you exercise on the same day, motivation by 41%, time management by 72%, mental and social skills by 79%, ability to deal with stress by 27%, and ability to meet deadlines by 22%. So it's really important to exercise because our body is designed to move. We're not designed to sit. And right now, because we're locked down or we're staying long times at home, we need to find ways to move. We need to be creative in the way we move our body. So maybe you can download an app of exercising, and you can use the stairs instead of the elevator. You can go jogging around anytime or walk all the time. So you need to move and exercise because it really affects your physical energy in so many ways. It also regulates your hormones. It elevates the symptoms of anxiety and depression as well. And it moves oxygen to all parts of your body, and which you needed right now, especially in your brain, to think fine, to think well. So the third component of the physical energy, what we need to do is to sleep. And this is how you end up if you don't sleep. Most of us take sleep for granted. And we think if we sleep less, we'll have more time to do more things. But actually, this is not true because 95% of the population need to sleep from 7 to 8 hours per day. 2.5% more, 2.5% less. And if you don't sleep well, you don't operate well on a cognitive level. So the task that can take 1 hour might take 2 or 3 hours from you because you're not sleeping well. So sleep is very important to our body. And there's an experiment that has been done in the University of Chicago, and they got rats and they deprived them from sleep And after 17 days, they died. They got another group of rats and they deprived them from food. And actually after 17 days, they were just hungry. So this shows how important is sleep to our body. So put more focus on your sleep. And some people can say, okay, right now I'm very anxious. I think all the time, I cannot sleep. So exercising helps you to sleep. So if you do the first step, the second step will be easier. Another way of helping yourself to sleep is to meditate and empty your mind from your thoughts before going to sleep. So maybe you can do a breathing exercise before going to sleep. Just focus on your breath. You inhale to the count of 3 and exhale to the count of 5 slowly. And if you have any thought that is coming to you while you're doing this exercise, just go back and focus on your breath. So you breathe in, you fill up your belly, not your chest, and then you release with a longer count. So 3, and then release 5. And if you keep on doing this, you silence your mind. So this can help you to sleep, or you can download any application of meditation and do a small meditation before going to sleep. The fourth component of the physical energy is recovery. And what you see here is a car in a car race. And the car that wins the race is not the one that keeps on running the fastest all the time without stopping. No, it's the car that keeps on running and then stops at this pit stop to change the tire, put gas, and to be recharged again to continue the race. And this pit stop takes an average of 5 seconds. And this is what we need to do in our life as well. We need to work, and then recover. We're not made to operate like computers, running multiple programs continuously for very long hours. We need to work and then stop. Work and then stop to recover. And it has proven that people who work for 90 minutes and then stop to recover, they're 48% more creative. And I guess right now we need to be very creative in our ideas and what we will do next. So it's important to work and then recover. It's all about having this sprinter mentality. And what is different between a sprinter and someone who's running a marathon? That the one who runs the marathon keeps on running. He doesn't see the end line. He's running and then he takes maybe his energy drink on the way and continues running. He doesn't stop, but he keeps on running without seeing the end line. As for a sprinter, he sees the end line. He puts all his focus, all his energy, all his attention in the run. He runs to his best and then stops. And this is what we need to do. We need to work and then recover. And when I say recover, it means completely disconnecting from whatever you were doing physically, mentally, and emotionally. So if you were working on an email, then you don't recover by checking your WhatsApp. If you're working on an email and you want to recover, it's maybe by closing your eyes, doing a breathing exercise, listening to music, go for a walk, meditate, but it's completely disconnecting from what you were doing. So if you want to sustain performance, you need to balance your energy expenditure with your energy renewal. So let's move to the second dimension of our energy, which is the emotional energy. And this is the most contagious energy in a team. So if you are emotionally drained or negative, this will be very contagious to the rest of the team. And it also influences the way you lead and you interact with others. And we think that if we're hit by a negative emotion, we cannot change it. So if I'm anxious, I'm fearful, and this is where we are right now, most of us, we cannot change this. But actually, you can change this by changing 3 main things. You can change your state, your emotional state, by changing your physiology or your focus or your language. And what is physiology is how you walk, you breathe, you sit, you stand, and you move. And definitely, if you see a depressed person, you will see that his way of walking is completely different than a happy person. A depressed person will be shoulder down, head down. He's not smiling. His breathing is very shallow. He's walking slowly. So this is the physiology of a depressed person. While a happy person or a motivated person would look completely different. Head up, shoulders up, smiling, open eyes, he's breathing deeply. So if you feel that you're hit by a negative emotion, change your physiology, change your state, because body and mind are interconnected. So whatever the state that you were in, just change it. Go change it. Smile maybe because it sends signals to the brain, and then the brain releases the hormone of happiness in your body. So try to change your physiology and your emotion will change. Another thing is to change your focus. Think about what you're focusing on, because what you focus on expands. So are you focusing on the future all the time, or your present right now? Are you focusing on the good things that you have in your life and you're grateful for, or you're always focusing on problems? Are you focusing and looking at the circle of concern all the time, or you're focusing on your circle of control? So where your focus goes, your energy flows. So if you're focusing on negative things, your emotional energy will be negative. So try all the time to be conscious about where your focus is flowing. Third thing is the language. It's the language or the meaning that you assign to situation. So right now, some people can see this pandemic as an opportunity, and definitely this will give them a set of positive emotion if they think this way. And some people will always focus on or will assign meaning that this is a very big threat. So definitely it will give you also a negative emotion if you think this way. So the meanings that you assign to situations have an impact on your emotional state. So change your focus, change your language, change your physiology, and then you can change your emotions. Another thing that affects our emotions is the way we think. Okay, because what you think affects how you feel, and how you feel affects how you behave. So if you are thinking negative thoughts, definitely you'll have negative emotions, and then you'll have negative behavior based on the negative emotional state that you're in. And this will create negative thoughts again. And you will fall in this vicious cycle of negativity. So where to break it? You need to break it at the level of your thoughts. Monitor your thoughts all the time and challenge them, because our mind is there to protect us, and it's there for our survival. So it's a grumpy mind. It will always throw to you negative thoughts to keep you surviving and to keep you safe. But you need to challenge these thoughts and not take them for granted all the time. Ask yourself, are they backed up with facts? Is there any evidence that this thought is true? And try to reframe them, because sometimes we just believe what we say, and it puts us in a negative emotion. So maybe I'm telling myself I'm stuck at home. But if you reframe it to I'm stuck at home but enjoying myself with my family, my kids, and my loved ones, it will change your emotion. So just observe your thoughts, be very conscious about what's going on inside of your mind here, and challenge your thoughts, observe them, and reframe them. So you can change the way you feel, and then you will act in a better way, because actions are coming from a place of positive state. Gratitude. Gratitude is one of the main boosters of our emotional energy, because gratitude changes everything. Gratitude is the antidote of fear. Fear and gratitude cannot exist at the same time. So I invite you to have like a gratitude journal that you can use daily at night, and to write 5 things you're grateful for every day. And not only write, I'm grateful for this and that, but just ask yourself why, and dig deeper. I'm grateful for this because of that and that and that. So the more you dig deeper, and the more you put reasons why you're grateful, the more you're creating a reservoir of positive emotions inside of you. And other ways to boost or to enhance our emotional energy is to be connected to people, even if we're facing now social distancing, but we are creatures that thrive on love and connection. So find ways to connect with people, over the people that you love, your loved ones, your friends, over Zoom, and try to have these times, because this nourishes the soul. You can also start the day with a positive affirmation and use this affirmation throughout the day. All these are tips that you can use to increase your reservoir of positive emotion, because the higher this reservoir with positive emotion, the more you are resilient in the face of challenging times. And the third dimension is the mental energy. And here the mental energy is the focus of your energy. You cannot perform at your best, you cannot think at your best, you cannot be creative unless you're focusing on one thing at a time. And we think that multitasking is a skill that we're proud to have, but actually our brain is not designed to multitask. Our brain, yes, we can multitask, but it's not designed for it, because the brain shifts from one activity to another in fractions of seconds and depletes your mental energy. So if we look at this graph, and this is a graph that shows the quality of work and the amount of multitasking. Person A looks simple, but actually gets results. B looks busy, but actually wastes time. And this is what happens when we multitask. We waste time, we get more stressed, and the quality of what we do is not good, because you make lots of mistakes because your brain is not focusing completely on one thing. The quality of what your brain can give you is scattered among 2 or 3 things. So what to do to maintain or contain your mental energy is to stop multitasking, remove all distractions around you while you're doing something, because now we have lots of distractions, especially that we are at home, working from home, you will have lots of distractions. So try to remove all distractions that you have. Block time for each activity. And even if it's a small amount of time, if you will work on a report, on an email, or if you will just block time to think, say I'll work for 15 minutes, and put all your focus, have this sprinter mentality, all your focus, all your energy on what you're doing, remove all distractions, and then recover. And last but not least is the spiritual energy. And the spiritual energy is the energy of the human being, is the energy that is derived from the sense of what I do has meaning and purpose. It's the energy that is derived from an alignment between what I say is important to me and how I actually live. It's the sense of serving something bigger than myself. And the more the alignment between this, the more we have spiritual energy, which is one of the main components of our four dimensions of energy. So we need to understand and be very clear about what are our values in life. Okay, what are our values? Because we are put under pressure now, and we can make decisions or take action that are not very much aligned with who we are. So be very clear about what are your 5 core values. There are some tests that you can get them online, or maybe you know them, but always remember them, because your values are the roots that keep you rooted and grounded in tough times. And another thing that can help you to boost your spiritual energy is to have a mission statement. Okay, to have a mission statement written clearly, because it reveals your ultimate purpose in life and is your most powerful tool for personal navigation. It's the single greatest driver of engagement. It provides directional coordinates for your other energy investment, and it creates commitment in whatever you are doing. So the more you're aligned with your mission statement, the more you have high spiritual energy. And the way to create this mission statement, I have put out some questions that can help you. It's how would you like to be remembered? Okay, maybe you can answer this question. What are the values you want to live by? What would you like to be able to say at all age when sitting on a rocking chair and looking back at your life? What does living a thriving and meaningful life look like to you? So if you take time to answer these questions, you can come up with what is really, really important to you in your life and what is the impact that you want to live. And the more you align yourself with this, the more you have high spiritual energy. And now it's very important to align yourself with a mission and a purpose, and to always remember why you're here and what you're doing and why you're doing what you're doing. And last thing I want to leave you with is that we need to create rituals in our life to see results, because we are humans of habits. So whatever we did yesterday, we'll keep on doing tomorrow and after and after. So if you want to see change, because you need to see change, you need to be in a different energy state, you need to be in a completely different emotional, mental, spiritual, and physically state, so you can be able to face this challenge. So I invite you to take time after we finish this session to think about what are you going to do differently in your physical dimension, okay, regarding nutrition, fitness, sleep, and recovery. What are you going to do differently in the emotional dimension regarding your thoughts, gratitude, regarding how to change your emotions? What are you going to do differently in the mental and in the spiritual? And the more you anchor yourself in the new rituals, the more you will see results. Okay, so I would like to thank you now, and maybe we can open the floor for some questions. Okay, any questions? You can unmute yourself and ask if you want.
Hi, Lara.
Hi, Mona.
Thank you so much. Yes, thank you
Hi,
so
Mona.
much for the great informative presentation. I have a question, I mean, and it's really related to the specific situation we're in right now. I mean, do you believe that it's, I mean, as realistic to be in control of ourselves in such a time where like everything is uncertain and like the whole world is literally going crazy and upside down? Like what can we do to like maybe sometimes acknowledge that we can't be in control and this is fine? I don't know, like I find it difficult to be in control of what's
definitely.
in such situation.
Definitely, you're not in control of what is going on around you, but you're in control about how you can put a shield between you and what is happening. So if you get affected by listening to the news all the time, you can stop listening to the news. If you get affected by negativity that you get from your friends, you can stop listening to your friends. And you can work on changing your emotions, even if you're going, yes, I know that everyone is going through a difficult and challenging time regarding work and regarding your business, but it's a reality and it's a fact that we're all facing. So what can you do now? What can you do now? So if we dwell most of our energy about things that I cannot control, I'm just wasting more energy. But if I focus, okay, that's the situation, these are facts. What can I do? And to focus more about what is in my hand right now and how I can change my emotions regarding this, the perception that I see things. So this can help in a way. And this will never happen, okay? This needs also, because all the 4 dimensions are interconnected. They're not each one separate. So if you're more fit physically, you will have more resilience, emotional resilience, okay? It will add, it will help. If you're spiritually aligned, it will help. So they're all interrelated. So work on the 4 dimension and you might see results. I hope I answered your question. I can't hear you, Mona.
Yes, it answered the question. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, hi, Lara. This is Mirna here.
Hi, Mirna.
I wanted to ask you actually about how to manage your own energy and protect yourself from absorbing energy that is negative from others. لأنه when you are in control of your own dimensions, مثل عم يسوق السيارة يعني you're master of driving, but you can't guarantee the other person knows how to drive. So how can we manage and protect our own energy once we've mastered those dimensions? And how do I avoid energy vampires around us?
Okay, first ask yourself, why are you affected by these energy? Because sometimes we personalize things and sometimes it is in our hands to stop this, because we personalize, we take things, we allow things to get inside of us. So maybe first is to change your perception about what is happening or about what people think, do or act, and how is this impacting you. Another thing is to isolate yourself maybe from people. If you cannot do this, just keep yourself away from people who are sucking your energy or, as you said, are vampires. And maybe by meditating and grounding and connecting with yourself, you're protecting yourself from being attacked by the negative energies as well.
Okay, thank you. معلش, another question related to sports.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of I totally agree that sports helps us manage our sleep patterns, but sometimes we sleep physically, but mentally our brain is still functioning. You wake up exhausted. How do you manage that?
Yes, exactly. Because to have a good sleep, you need to go into a cycle of sleep, which is very light sleep, and then you go to a deep sleep. And you need to repeat this cycle 4 or 5 times per night to say that you really had a good sleep. So lots of people that go into sleeping with a mind full of thoughts, they will never be able to do this deep sleep down there. So as I mentioned, that when you exercise, it affects your sleep, you sleep better. Maybe you can take a hot shower before going to bed. And I also mentioned that meditation before going to bed is very important. A breathing exercise, meditate just to quiet your mind and to stop your thoughts before going to sleep.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, so I think
لارا كان في كومنت من رودي من بيروت عم يحكي عن الميشن and the ultimate focus and purpose in life. Those who are joining من لبنان, how can they manage to stay on track when it comes to their focus on their mission and purpose in life مع كل المصايب that's happening around them? أنا particular هون عم بحكي عن entrepreneurs, startups. How can you stay focused on your purpose and your values when it's all messed up around you?
Okay, first it's important to have clarity about what are your values, what are your personal values, and what are your organizational values. And you need to also be clear about what is your mission. And you always need to remember yourself why you're doing what you're doing. Because we will have storms coming in every time, and this can shake you, this can put you off track. But what will really keep you on track is to always stay aligned with this. We can be put under pressure. Maybe one of my values is honesty, but under pressure, you can do things or take decisions that are not very honest, and this will deplete your spiritual energy. So the more you have clarity about them, and the more you commit yourself to stay focused to it, the more you will be able to navigate through tough times. It is not easy. We cannot pretend that it's easy, but it's a choice. It's always a choice. And when the choice is not to be aligned, this depletes your spiritual energy. And when the choice is, no, I will stay aligned, this boosts your spiritual energy.
Okay, thank you. Any more questions from the attendees on Zoom? I see there are some comments on Facebook. Maybe later on, Lara, you can check them out.
Sure.
Comment on them.
I have a question about the multitasking. So you mentioned that it's, it's energy draining, and I agree with that. But I mean, with the also current situation, I mean, sometimes you feel like, I have my son with me now, like you have to multitask, otherwise, I mean, you can't. What do you do in this case? Like if multitasking is a must and not an option?
Okay, first try to minimize the time that you're putting for the task. Okay, so if you want to work on something that will take 1 hour, divide it to 15 minutes. And then in these 15 minutes, block the time only for this activity and try to remove all the distractions around you. That's why I'm saying 15 minutes, just to be able to, maybe like now, keep your son for 15 minutes asleep or with someone else and focus on something. And just after that, you finish, you recover, because you need again to take your energy and do the rest of the tasks. So just split the timing, make it shorter, and block a time and remove distractions. I hope this answered your question.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so I think no more questions here. We can end it now. Thank you, Myrna, for this invitation.
We got a lot of feedback on Facebook, WhatsApp, and on Zoom. Thanks a lot for your time, and I hope this was useful, and I hope it was fun for you, Kamin, to give it a different.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you. يعطيك العافية. Thanks all for watching this session with us from Fintech Galaxy, Fintech Flares. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you.